Fists of Fury done. The Kung Fu Master is in town. Wow, a second power fist. We're definitely a purple belt. Good morning, good evening, and of course, good afternoon. Today, we're going to be punching our way to victory using the Kung Fu Master. That's right, it's time for an instructional video showcasing the Brawler, the Kung Fu Master, the Jiu-Jitsu Wizard, the Taekwondo Master, the Krav Maga Killer, the Boxing Behemoth, the Master of all martial arts. That's right, it's time for the Brawler's time to shine. One of the more powerful characters in Bro Tato. Early on, looking for melee damage, but I'm also not going to turn down an early harvesting start. Do love a fist, as we do want to attempt to get these fists online. I'll toss one more reroll there, as we will be all set with a couple of fists, as well as the defective steroids, heading into Wave 3. Now, notably, the Brawler gets a couple of key mechanics, plus 50% attack speed with unarmed weapons, plus 15% dodge, which is a nice little bonus. Minus 50 range damage, essentially signaling that this character is meant to be played with the unarmed weapon tag, and notably minus 50 range, which is something we're going to talk a little bit more about in the next wave. Don't really love any of these. I do like that melee damage though, as we'll grab the fist and the defective steroids, as well as both the fist and the claw tree heading into Wave 3. Now, notably, Brawler does start with negative 50 range, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's more of a neutral thing. As one important thing to understand in Bro Tato with melee weapons, which experienced players surely know, is that the lower your range is with melee weapons, the faster the attack animation is, and the more damage you actually deal at the expense of range, meaning it's a little bit harder to hit enemies, and your weapons don't pierce through as many enemies as they might with better range. The relationship between range and attack speed with melee weapons is a really key mechanic in Bro Tato, and something we'll be talking about a little bit more. Don't mind a little bit of harvesting, as well as a little bit of attack speed. Do like the claw tree, do like the fist, as we'll kind of circle around for a couple of other items here. Do like another fist, and also like another coffee as well. So as we go through this game, we're going to be thinking a little bit about what our range is. Again, we start with negative 50 and how that affects our damage, as lower range means we are going to be dealing more damage, although we will have to get closer to enemies to hit them. And notably, like our fist won't pierce through as many enemies. So is going more attack speed good, or more attack range good? Bad. It really depends on the situation. As lower attack speed will help us kill high health enemies like bosses and elites a lot quicker, though it may make it a little bit more challenging to take out like horde waves. So a relationship which we will be constantly thinking about as we punch our way to victory here using the martial arts master, the Brawler. I don't necessarily love crit on this character, but we will go ahead and take that as well as the melee damage. Don't want to get our range up. Looking for something a little bit better. I'm happy with the luck. Like the fist, like the coffee, keep our attack speed nice and high, and like another fist there. We are given a rare item on Wave 5. Unfortunately, it is a strange book, which is not something I necessarily want, and we'll take another coffee here as well. Keep that attack speed nice and high with our negative range. The one thing about all of the unarmed weapons is they only have a 1.5 crit modifier, meaning crit's not as good on this character as it is on some others. That said, it can be worth leaving yourself, with a little bit of crit, simply to leave you open to hunting trophies as well as tentacles, which are relatively powerful items in Bro Tato. So if I see something like an Insanity, which is just a nicely costed, efficient item, I'll take it. It doesn't really net us a big DPS increase. In fact, it most likely nets us barely a DPS increase. However, it's just an efficient early item, which will leave us open to those crit items if we are fortunate to see them. If not, well, no big deal. I'm sure for free I'll take a baby elephant, and looking for something a little bit better than crit, so I am happy with that max HP, as we're now fully at blue weapons. And again, I will get that percent damage back up. I do think armor is somewhat important on this character, so I'm happy to take a metal plate there, like the fist, and like another claw tree. So one thing to keep in mind is with that lower attack speed, we're going to be able to deal with most of these smaller enemies that track us down. So you can see here with Brawler's negative 50 range and our little bit of attack speed that we've taken, we actually barely have to move in order to stay safe. You can see we're able to essentially punch down all the smaller enemies before they're around us to deal damage, meaning the big damage, the big worry with this character is projectiles. Is the projectiles we obviously can't punch down, but this just sort of demonstrates why that attack speed is so good with that lower range, as it does really allow us to stay a little bit safer, as we can more or less charge into groups of weaker enemies and deal with them before they're able to deal us damage. However, that is not true later in the game, especially when high health enemies like bruisers start appearing, so something to keep in mind. For free, do like a Shady Potion, netting us a little bit of luck, and I do like melee damage, as we do want to keep that nice and high throughout the run. I do like a gentle alien. We are given a nuclear launcher, which is sort of funny that the item can even show on this character, as we are unable to take advantage of that. And we'll go ahead and take a charcoal as well. But one of the key things with our little baby brawler here is they have really good damage to high health enemies like elites and bosses. So to demonstrate, we'll let this alien spawn. You can see we're just basically instantly able to punch that alien to death. You know, again, that's just the advantage of having lower range, really good attack speed. You know, our area clear can suffer a little bit, but you can see those high health enemies we're absolutely able just to demolish. So all things we do want to think about as we roll through wave 7 here today. Speed's a little low, obviously still at 0, so I do think this character really benefits with speed. Again, a little bit lower range, a little bit higher speed means we can chase down enemies. You know, a big thing about Potato is killing as many enemies per wave as possible in order to get as many materials as possible. So a little bit more speed on this character I think works really well in helping us clear the map. So something we will be thinking about as we roll through wave 7 here today. For free, sure, I'll take a piggy bank. Doesn't do a whole lot. Seeing if we can get something a little bit better here. I guess I'll take a little bit of lifesteal and love this 6 melee damage. We'll take a blindfold, we'll take a charcoal, and we'll take a riposte, as we are dealing with a little bit more dodge here. And do like a tree quite a bit. And I suppose I will take the metal plate and the peaceful bee as well. So you can see our range is now down to -65. So we will be attacking even faster at the expense of a little bit more range. So again, if we're able to hit something, we're going to deal a lot of damage. We just want to be careful and not necessarily be on top of enemies and cause ourselves to take a ton of damage. So you'll be able to see we're going to take out these bruisers, these horn bruisers as well, very quickly, as we're able to just instantly punch them down. However, we have to get up close and personal as we do a tango with some of the most deadly enemies in Potato. So all things to think about here is, again, you know, high risk, high reward when we go lower range. But we are going to do, I think, an okay job of keeping this wave nice and clear, as those bruisers do drop a solid amount of materials. As you see, we're able to punch them down pretty efficiently here. So solid job here. I'm taking a little damage at the end as I sort of recklessly charge into the trees, as well duck around, dodge some of these projectiles, and punch our way to a solid 240 materials there, which I'm happy with. Looking for something a little better. I guess I'll take a little max HP. We'll take tree, metal plate, and peaceful bee, as well as a fist. You know, I do like the warrior's helmet. It's not my favorite item because we're so low on speed, but I do think it has, you know, a little bit of value here. Wave 9, you know, we are going to be punching our way without too much of a trouble. You know, our character, you know, they've got their yellow belt, right? Like, they're showing up the Taekwondo class, like they went ahead and like did their palm through like the plywood, right? So we're feeling good about that. You know, our instructor's like, oh, good job, son. You know, you did a good job, right? Here's your yellow belt. So we're feeling a little bit better. You know, we're no longer working with the kindergartners. We're working with more like the grade schoolers, but we've got our yellow belt. We know a little bit about what we're doing. You know, we are a certified yellow belt, and our martial arts career is looking pretty promising, which I do think is a pretty good signpost for this character. Got our yellow belt. We don't feel like a complete noob anymore. We're doing punches. We're doing a little bit of kicks, right? Like, we're starting to put our very burgeoning martial arts career together, as we want to be the best martial arts master like nobody ever was. That is the goal with Brawler, as we actually do a pretty good job clearing most of the enemies in this wave. So shows that our build, I think, is off to a solid start. We're at 21 melee damage, which is not too shabby for this point in the game. Don't love losing harvesting, but I do think regen is a little bit more important on this character than others, and do like that percent damage as well as that 6 melee damage. So we will be taking a warrior's helmet, because I do think armor is important, although I hate losing the speed, but we will do our best to recover. Do like the claw tree, and love both a mastery and a beanie. I will go ahead and buy the beanie first. Again, don't love being at -71 range, but you know, we do want to get that speed up as fast as possible. It's just being nimble on this character, I think, is a relatively big advantage. We do have our first elite coming up on wave 11, which I do think we will dispatch without too much of an issue, as taking out elites really is where this character shines. And I also think this character is a good one to unlock Jack if you are struggling with that achievement. So again, just speaking to the great single target damage we are able to do. So you can see we are somewhat making sure we are dancing around these bruisers without getting hit. But if we are able to do so, we will be able to handle the rest of this wave relatively easily. The big danger waves for this character are like waves 14 to 16, is Brawler does suffer just a little bit when there are a lot of projectiles on the map. So finding some way to deal with those is important, whether that's high defense and regen or something like a power fist or rip and tear. So all things we will be keeping an eye out for as we cruise here. Wave 10, truthfully, pretty good showing. I mean, if we can get 500 materials with Brawler on wave 10, that means we do have something good going on. Love a coupon for free, and we'll go ahead and actually take a touch of armor, as I do think armor is somewhat valuable on this character. Love a mastery, like a crown, truthfully. I mean, we have a, maybe a little bit aspirational there. And again, let's just show how much damage we'll do if we go to negative 86 range. Now, I don't recommend you do this at home, as that is a lot of negative range. However, it's really going to help us kill this elite here on wave 11. So let's punch this sucker down, as we're at solid 37 melee damage. So say, hey, Rhino, how you doing? You can see just absolutely punching this enemy into oblivion as we are taking this lead out. Not too much of an issue, as we really just take that lead out nice and efficiently. And again, our character is very much just getting started. That was about a 16-second elite kill, which will go up drastically from here. And, you know, we still have a lot of other mechanics to put together. You know, attack speed feels a little low, so we do want to get that up. Obviously, 27 plus 50% from the bonus. So that is sort of this character's Achilles heel. But once we get that attack speed up with that negative range, we will absolutely be dumpstering bosses. That said, with negative range, you have to be somewhat careful, right? Because you do have to sort of sit on the bosses, which just can require some good, precise maneuvering. So a little bit more speed, I think we'll get that together a little bit better. But we're off to the races here, as wave 11 looks like it is well under control. And we have a full slew of elites this run. No horde waves for us. And excited to sort of dumpster those here. I mean, for free, I'll take a Sif's Relic. Not exactly my favorite thing there, but we'll take it. And do like that melee damage, like the mastery, like the metal. So important thing to note, Flaming Brass Knuckles has the exact same stats as a fist. It just does burning damage. So usually worth picking it up. However, you do have to be somewhat careful in the sense it can be a little bit more difficult to upgrade weapons. So something to keep in mind. With negative 86 range, I'm happy with the metal plate, as we do call it a day. So with full purple weapons, our Kung Fu novice here is officially a blue belt, right? Like, we're working on kicks, we're showing up to tournaments by ourselves, right? Like, we've been doing martial arts for a couple of years. We got our blue belt, right? Like, we are talking a big game in the playground. You know, we're doing our martial arts. We're feeling good, but our blue belt is off to the races here, as we've officially been promoted. No longer in a yellow belt. We are a blue belt, feeling nice and good about things, as we now have our Flaming Fist. So again, that, you know, Flaming Fists, you do get a little bit of a bonus from elemental damage. So if you're able to pick up a couple things like charcoals early, which give melee and elemental, it can sometimes be a strategy to leave yourself open to, you know, get some maximum value out of those elemental fists, those Flaming Fists. Again, I don't think they're necessarily better enough to really warrant like speculatively going into it, but if you get a couple early elemental fists, it can sometimes be worth just dipping a little bit into elemental damage, scared sausages, things like that. But again, it doesn't really make a huge difference. Sure, I'll take a free Cyberball, and I will take a little bit of range just to get that to a little bit more respectable. Negative 56. I do like a Silver Bullet, which will help us take out elites, and we'll aggressively upgrade those fists. Don't really love the Bean Teacher. We don't have a ton of need for dropping our lifesteal right now, and we'll head here into wave 13. And I do think that focus plus 30% damage will be pretty good. Percent damage is only at 9. Now, one important thing I do wonder about Imbrotato, and I think it's pretty important with Mastery, is, are we defending our home planet, or are we on somebody else's planet, right? Like, why did our Kung Fu Master go to school? Like, are we defending our planet from alien invasions? Are we on another planet? Like, where did all these aliens come from? What is going on? I am just asking questions here. I am very much curious to, are we in the aliens' house? Are they coming to our house? Like, what are we doing? Like, do we crash land on a planet like a Risk of Rain? Are these aliens invading our planet? Like, do we study martial arts for years in order to protect our planet? Kind of like Goku, right? Like, are protecting Earth from like all the aliens that always want to destroy Earth in Dragon Ball Z? Or, you know, are we on an alien planet, you know, trying to survive? Is our monk trying, or, you know, brawler here trying to like purify an alien planet? What is going on? I just want to know, right? These are the important questions of our day in Brotato. What the heck is going on? Somebody please tell me. But wave 13 feeling pretty good here. We'll keep getting that armor up. And again, I don't necessarily love focus here, but we will take it. I am somewhat tempted with a warrior's helmet, but our speed is already so low, and armor is at an okay 15, so I don't think it's that necessary. Do like a claw tree. We'll skip through some of these. Keep getting warrior's helmets here. I do like another Flaming Brass Knuckle, although we'll kind of have to make an awkward upgrade. Anyway, that is the question I want to know, is what the heck is going on. You know, wave 14 is something, it is when we have to start paying a little bit more attention, as these junkers that spawn, that throw the projectiles on the map, can be somewhat challenging for this character. So all something we want to think about is this character does not have a great way to deal with projectiles, especially when you are as slow as we are. Again, I really do prioritize speed on this character. We were just not able to get quite as much of it early on as I would have liked, as this character does have a real, I think, chance of getting overwhelmed on waves 14 through 16 with these junkers. So we want to do a good job of taking out these spawning enemies, hanging around to kill the junkers as soon as they spawn. But I think we'll be okay. We got a lot of HP, a lot of good armor. So I think we'll be all right here. But again, this is when this character does sort of, struggle a little bit. We get into a play pattern of being able to essentially charge in enemies and take them out so easily that when we get to wave 14, it can be a little bit unsettling to suddenly have to deal with the projectiles, which you saw us take some damage there at the end. For free, like a Lost Duck, and do like a propeller hat for free. And we'll take that 12 max HP, although I just remember we do have a crown, so maybe should have been taking those, but taking more harvesting, but such is life. Anyway, do like a flaming brass knuckles there, do like a mastery, and we will go ahead and grab that somewhat inefficient upgrade here as we head into wave 15, ready to punch this monk. Let's go. Bang, 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 punch, punch, punch. Fists of Fury, done. 6-second elite kill. Tell me that ain't what we get out of bed in the morning for, right? That just is showing the power this character has when it comes to punching down high health enemies. So again, really happy to sort of demonstrate how that's going. Really good percent damage on this character. I guess 37, that is, I'd say, relatively decent. So what really shining here is 56 melee damage is quite good. I do want to get the attack speed and the percent damage up a little bit, as well as our actual speed, as I think that is holding us back just a little bit. That said, once we get past wave 16, we have less of these junkers to deal with. We'll have a little bit more flexibility to run around the map. In the meantime, we'll keep marshaling our enemies to death. We're going to pick up that fruit as we will do our best to sort of run through and duck around these projectiles while taking out as many enemies as possible. But our Kung Fu Master feeling pretty good. As we'll zoom here, wave 15, feeling nice and good about things. Don't love the negative HP regen lifesteal, but love the speed, love the armor, love the crit chance, all things I like, and we'll take that as well. And we'll get our dodge a little higher. Okay, so about to get super serial here as we do get a power fist, which is sort of a legendary power fist at that. So we'll go ahead and pick that up next wave with that power fist on deck. I'm trying to think if there's a good upgrade. Originally, I was going to swap this flame brass knuckles, which I don't think is necessarily worth it, as we'll grab that power fist. So I'll just grab one reroll here, maybe two, just to see what's up. But we'll go ahead and hang on to that power fist, which is definitely the sort of preeminent item on this character. A very good weapon. So we'll go ahead and pick that up next wave and be in a good spot. Speed zap up to a much more appreciable 8. So I am feeling nice and good about our Kung Fu Master. We're showing up. We're gonna, with that power fist, we're definitely a purple belt, right? Like, we're one of the older kids in our class. We're feeling solid about things. We are doing nice and good. We're doing like fancy leg kicks. We're doing takedowns. We're teaching younger kids how to do karate. So that, we've got our purple belt now. Other kids look up to us. We're starting to get like bad body odor at the, jiu-jitsu meets, because like we're old enough where like that's an issue now. We haven't quite figured out how deodorant works, so we're still somewhat of a novice there. But we got a purple belt. People looking up to us, so things are looking good here, as we're going to be in a really good spot to take this run over with that power fist. So I'm really happy to see that, as we are sort of in almost cruise control mode here. Don't love more range, but like we really need speed, so I'm happy with the wings. Love a mastery. We'll look around for something just a little bit better. And, dodge and armor are both good here. Dodge is at 48, but our attack speed does feel low, so I'll be happy to take it up. So we'll go ahead and swap into a power fist here. Again, one of the better items on this character. Now, notably, we do have that power fist, which does have a 50% chance to explode on hit at legendary. That is up from 25 at the rest of the tiers. So just a really good item that gives us a little bit more clear. So I'm really happy to have that. Don't really think we need the schmoop with all the HP we have. Do like a tree, do like a riposte, and we'll toss one more reroll here. Wow, a second power fist. We are off to the races, my friends. As let's show this elite who is boss. Where are you, Butcher? You don't know what's coming through. The Kung Fu Master is in town, and we're here to show you how it's done. That's right. With that 7-second Butcher kill, we just got our black belt. That's right. We are an official karate master. We have our black belt. People look up to us. We have arrived, right? Like, we are ready to defend our home planet or invade the other planet, depending on what the Potato War shows. So we are in a good spot here. So again, just showing the power of those characters, we're able to just demolish that elite with a solid, 6-second elite kill. Feeling really good here on wave 27. We can see this power fist causing these explosions, which is again is a really nice benefit to account for. This character's just big weaknesses, which is that area clear. So we're going to be in good spot to go off to the races here, as we're able to just absolutely demolish that, absolutely just dumpster that wave 18 elite or wave 17 elite. So feeling really good, and we got a bunch of chests. No scope for us. We have enough crit. I guess I'll take a lucky coin. Doesn't do a whole lot. And I do want to actually drop a range back down to -50. So I do like a little muscle dude. Do like a free tree. And wow, it is power fist central here. Holy smokes. Why the heck not? Let's take it. We'll grab that charcoal, and we're going to go ahead and save our money for that next power fist. Without further ado, wave 18, let's go. For wave 18, I want to just do a brief segue and talk about lifesteal as a mechanic when it comes to melee weapons. So I have seen some sort of discrepancies, like is lifesteal good with melee? The answer is it can be. Lifesteal is not quite as good on melee as it is on other ranged weapons. The reason being is lifesteal does trigger on attack, meaning with ranged weapons, it's much easier to keep firing throughout the wave than it is on melee, as melee you may not always be attacking. However, I do think lifesteal can be really, really good on melee as well, especially when you're playing a high attack speed character like the Brawler. The key thing with using lifesteal's melee is you just want to make sure that you're able to play aggressively by always attacking the enemies. If we're able to stay out on the map, charge down groups of enemies, and essentially always be attacking, ABA, much better than the always be closing from the Glengarry Glen Ross movie. If we're always able to be attacking, I do think lifesteal can be effective on melee characters. So it's just important to understand how that mechanic works as you make your decisions when building the character. But I think this is a situation where lifesteal is quite good on melee. Do like the additional lifesteal, which is very, very poignant, and do like that coupon as well. We have enough armor. I'm looking for a little bit of a better melee upgrade. That said, I am not going to pass down 12 max HP. We'll go ahead and dunk this fist for a legendary power fist. So we are power fisted up, ready to go, looking just like a Power Ranger. I mean, somewhat tempted by a cape. I don't know if we necessarily need more dodge, so I will just pass on it for now. Do a couple rerolls here. Don't really see much that will help us as we roll here in the wave 19. I think just absolutely ready to demolish the bosses. 69 melee damage, 40% damage, and okay attack speed. Our melee damage is good. Our attack speed and damage could be a little bit better. But, much like Ash Ketchum at the end of Pokemon Red, we are ready to fight the Masters. We are ready to show them who is in fact boss. As we head to these bosses, I think absolutely going to just demolish them, as we've been able to assemble a really powerful kit here. We have our black belt. We are the martial arts master. We are the Krav Maga king, and we are ready to unleash our fury on the unsuspecting bosses. As we head here into the bosses, that's right, it is shill time. My name is Sean, and I run a channel here called Sean Tier, which is meant to be a little bit more humorous, slash a little bit more mechanically intensive look at Brotato. I have only been doing this for a couple of months. We're already at about 950 subscribers. My next big goal is to hit that big 1,000 to unlock my full channel utility. So if you're watching this video and you have not subscribed, it would seriously mean a lot to me if you hit that subscription button, as it will just help me hit that 1,000. We are oh so close. So if you could do me a solid and hit that subscribe, I will love you forever, and I will personally bring orange slices to your very next martial arts tournament. That has to be a compelling offer. No garden is really necessary. Sure, we'll take a defective steroids. I guess I'll take 4 armor. Why the heck not? We're going to kill the bosses most likely in under 20 seconds, so no wisdom. We're too late for extra stomach. No peaceful bee. We're not going to get a ton of value out of that. Don't need any of these. I suppose I will take the repose for the melee damage. Hunting trophy is a little bit late. Same with mouse. I don't really need more armor. I guess I'll take the 10% attack speed just because it does something. I'll take the tentacle just for a little more damage, as well as a little bit more survivability. Would have loved that jetpack, but we cannot afford it, and we are obviously done with items. But anyway, 73 melee damage, 40% damage, 40 attack speed. Both these a little lower than I would like. However, really, really good melee damage, as well as negative 41 range. Let's see how we can handle these bosses, as in we are just going to punch these suckers down. No issues. Should be able to take out this the Predator in under 10 seconds, which we were able to do. Fists of Fury Ho. Don't run away from us. We are punching you down. We have our black belt. Look at that, wave 20. Easy win. Tons of power fists. That was a ton of fun. Great sort of damage there, and just really fun to kind of see that together. And you can see the great damage we did with these power fists, hitting multiple of the bosses and just dealing really good damage. Anyway, that was a ton of fun. Hopefully this helps you understand how to play Brawler, as well as sort of helps you understand the relationship between melee and attack speed and how all of those mechanics works. As always, thank you for watching and take care.